Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Insta360 X3. Now, this retails for roughly $450 US, and I did purchase this initially directly from Insta360 as soon as they announced it on September 8th, because I do think it's going to be ideal for my upcoming trip. Now, I do already have the 1-inch edition 360, or rather 1-inch 360 edition, which is an incredible piece of hardware, but it's really quite delicate. This, on the other hand, is an action camera. Now, it doesn't have two 1-inch sensors like its $800 sibling. It has a single 1/2-inch sensor, 5.7K video quality, 1800 milliamp hour battery, but the killer feature really is now that we have a touch screen that is over 2 inches large. And I think Insta suffers from this disease, if you will, of tiny screens on all of their products, even my new favorite here with the 1-inch edition that has two 1-inch sensors. So who is this for? Well, if you have the X2, you probably don't need this, but you might want it simply because you do have HDR capability now, slightly better video quality. People looking for 8K, it's just not going to happen at this price. Be realistic. And while it would be nice, it's going to take some time. 10 meters of waterproofness. Now, keep in mind, you will need the underwater enclosure if you really want to use this underwater, because I don't think it's going to perform normally. But one of the killer features of this device is that it has single lens mode. Now, hopefully that's something they will also introduce with, the 1-inch 360, because that really, in my opinion, is something that it's only software. So firmware update will do it all, and it will just make this camera even better. But remember, this is not an action camera. It's a prosumer 360. This is, of course, completely an action camera. It has a much higher IP rating. It can get wet, much larger display, and a much more affordable price at $450. You could take 72 megapixel, 360 degree photos. Their editing software and flow stabilization is best in the business. They do have 8K 360 degree time lapses, and even just the 4K is going to be, I think, fairly solid on something like this. So from a build quality perspective, if you're familiar with the previous gen X2, very, very similar. But again, we have this display that I think makes it just a much more attractive piece of hardware that is going to appeal to a greater number of people. So going around the body here, they have changed some things from previous generations. This is the battery compartment right here. Again, 1800 milliamp hours. Trying to get it out with my hand, but God knows I have had trouble these days with my hands. For those of you that don't know, I sometimes can hide it, sometimes I can't. And I'm trying to pop this one out. I have a feeling I'm missing. There are instructions, and it just says pull out the battery first. Yes, that's what I am trying to do. But I am not succeeding, and my nail is borderline coming off. But let's go here. That may have been part of the release. Your Type-C port for internal charging as well as transfer. And then on the other side, we have our power button. I don't know if I'm going to be able... Nope, that's just not going to happen. I am not able to get that out. And that could be because it's not meant to be. But I have a feeling that is the bay to the micro SD card. So either way, again, this is one of those products where the X2 to the X3, maybe not the best transition, but if, like me, you have a previous gen device from Insta and you want to, something like my 1-inch edition over here, then it does make a lot of sense to upgrade, because this is going to give you another level. And I wanted something that could get wet. The 1-inch edition 360, you cannot get wet. So this should be interesting in comparison. Now, I'm still struggling to slot this out, and I'm not sure why, because it does just say that you just got to pull out the battery first to insert the micro SD. Make sure the battery and USB cover are clean and dry before closing, but I'm just not able. I'm trying everything to pry this out here, but I am just not succeeding at all. For whatever reason, I am just unlucky. I'm still trying to get this to come out. Let's go ahead and put that there. Aha. Well, it would have been nice to know that that sticker was covering the other release buttons. So let's go ahead and redo that. So let's just take a look around the actual body. There was a sticker here before, but this is the actual battery, 1800 milliamp hours. You're just going to squeeze those two tabs out, ejects that battery. I think these are, I don't remember the exact retail price. You can see it does have an O-ring seal for, of course, its water protection, the resistance. And you know, this is already a jump from the previous generation. So if you were wondering, that's one benefit. Then we have our Type-C port right here. You're going to use that for internal charging as well as, well, transfer if you need to do a hardwired transfer. And then on the other side, we have our power button. I'm going to go ahead and hit that right now. You can see the blue light coming on to indicate that Johnny 5 is alive. And this is really the beauty of this new design. I mean, I've always felt like this was something that really was very, very necessary for this camera. And now we've got it. The audio, you can see the two microphones right here, supposed to be a very big improvement. So that'll be interesting to see as well. Looks like we have about a half a charge on this battery, and I'm going to go ahead and get it going. But just to give you a quick look here, if I can bring things into focus, at the video resolution right there and frame rate. So in 4K you can shoot 60. Of course, in 5.7K you're limited to 30 and 25 down to 24. But this should be fairly easy to use, and I think that's one of the most intriguing things about this. So yes, slight improvements, but the big improvement is really the touch screen, and you won't be tied to your phone the way you historically were with this device. So let's look at what else is in the box. And of course, again, their software is what really, I think, sets them apart, besides the fact that they have great hardware, and that's what it takes these days to be successful in any tech-related business, and they just have been doing a great job. So we get a little carry case here, and I have a lot of accessories coming from China, directly from Insta for this. I mean, God forbid they were to come in stock on Amazon, then I'd have them all, and that would be really just perfect. But neoprene case right here for it, which is certainly nice. And I didn't even reveal the other port, the micro SD. So let's just do that right now. I don't want anyone to miss that. So let's power down and go ahead and pop the battery. And that is when you will then see, make sure nothing else is in this box, which it is not. So when I eject this, even though it's fairly simple, that should then give us access, supposedly, oh yeah, what am I talking about? Right there, and I missed it before, is your SD card slot. You should be able to see that. You see it's labeled SD. That is where you're going to drop in the SD card. And that's pretty much it. So I have a lot of accessories coming for this. Of course, Type-C to Type-A cable for charging, and breakfast of champion silica gel. Don't eat that, please. And then some instructions. And that's pretty much it. Now, Insta Cleaning Cloth does not provide, apparently, in this package, which I thought they did, a lens cap similar to this guy right here. So now I sort of regret not having purchased one. Of course, you do have this little pouch, which is better than nothing, but it would have been nice that, had they gone the distance. But I'm just excited to get this thing set up, start shooting with it, and, it's going to give me yet another way of capturing this very important trip that maybe I'll end up sharing with all of you at some point that's upcoming. But yeah, just important time in my life, and just looking forward to what the future holds in store. So a product like this, just perfect timing to give me another photographic tool, something incredibly creative that is going to change the way I capture my travels, as well as share it with all of you, friends, family. You get the picture. And so better audio quality, better battery life, better resolution, larger touchscreen that eliminates complete, I would say, dependency on having a smartphone for preview, and then of course quarter 20 there. This is what an action cam should be if it performs as well as everything that I've seen thus far. And let's see if I can put this on, this little sock, if you will. And there we have it. Bing, bang, boom. Pretty cool. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.